the leader you are and the peace that you bring. And I look up to you, the way you operate, the way you stay steady. It's just honorable, and that's what I admire to be. Is like just a steady guy, emotionally stable. Things can be going good, things can be going bad, but I want to show up the same every single day. And Wilbur, for always being there for me, every phone call, every stupid question, every time I'm in a bad mind state, he's there, pick me up, and be like keeps it super simple and redirects me. And I was at the beach yesterday, and I was just pondering how pure our company is, how pure symmetry is, how we truly all want to help people. And I was just pondering, I'm like, dude, we are so lucky to be in a company with leaders from Scott to our owners that truly want the best for us, that truly want good business on the books, that want to really help families. And it's a very pure business. It's a very pure business, and I'm grateful. And now I'm going to introduce young studs to this business. My brother, I've known since I was in middle school, Ethan Teller. We grew up together. We played football together. We went to middle school together. Um, and just that kid has always inspired me from trampoline parks to parkour. He's always been on top of it in any area of life he's been in. And I was in Fort Lauderdale for a season of my life, and I'll let him kind of tell his story a little bit, but beyond blessed to be in business with that guy, high caliber individual in all areas of life. And I'll start there, and then actually, I'll talk about Mackenley too. And Mackenley, just God bless me with him. My friends from church told me Mackenley wanted an opportunity, and Mackenley has truly anchored my, when iron, we talk about iron sharpens iron, he sharpens me in my faith. He sharpens me in just the way I think, and just being around that type of person every single day is such a blessing. And I never take our relationship for granted. McKenna, I love you, bro, and you're such a light in my life. I'm beyond blessed to be in business with you. So, Ethan, I'll start off with you, bro. Kind of bring me through what brought you here, and who are you, and what kind of underwear are you wearing? Yeah.
That's funny. That was an inside joke, which I'm not going to spend my limited
Ethan,
amount of time.
I was just texting the leader saying how Rod came on so cool, calm, and collected, and then he just all right. Reel it
Hey,
back in. Reel it back in.
it wouldn't be Rod if he didn't throw that out there. But for those of you guys who don't know, my name's Ethan Teller. As Rod just gave me the introduction, which I'm very grateful for. Grew up alongside Rod. He's also someone who has definitely inspired me. But yeah, Ethan Teller. I'm here in Miami, Florida. And how did I get here? I've just always wanted more. I come from a family who they went to college. My mom was a lawyer, degrees and all this stuff. And I just always saw the life that they lived and how even though they had the degrees, they did this, they went to school, they got the house, they did everything that they were supposed to do, they still weren't entirely happy with their life. So I knew that that's not what I wanted to do. I knew I always wanted more. And just I've always been gravitated towards sales, uncapped income. I came from the timeshare industry. Rod tried to poach me. He was like, dude, this company's sick. We're making great money. We're helping families. Like the energy here is wonderful. And I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm 21 years old. I'm making great money over here. I'm good. I was making great money. But eventually, shady company, one thing led to another. We jumped. And now I'm here and I'm so grateful. Seriously, the first thing that I want to mention is keep sharing this opportunity with people because I quite literally would not be here if Rod didn't display his passion to me. I wouldn't be here. Just he transferred this message to me with so much conviction, so much emotion, so much genuine certainty that when I was ready to jump ship, I quit my job on the spot. I bought a plane ticket to go to Colorado to conference before I was even licensed. And I'm like, all right, this is where I'm planting my feet. And now I'm here.
Amen. What a intro. What an intro. That's that guy, ET. All right, Mac. Same thing to you, bro. Walk me through, where you from, what were you doing before this, and what brought you to Symmetry? What encouraged you to start this opportunity for yourself?
Great question. So name is McKinley Kernizan. Um, and my story is definitely a little bit different. Same, like very burning desire. Always had that desire to be more and just be excellent. Like the word is excellent, just to be excellent in life. I don't know if it was the shows I was watching when I was a kid and seeing all these superheroes, but I wanted it to be great. I didn't know what I wanted to be great at, but I just wanted to be great at something and wanted my name to be known. So I always carried that throughout my life, and I feel like the entrepreneurial bug was always on me, even like in high school. Like I used to, go during lunch to the office, and me and my friends would have meetings about like drop shipping and Amazon FBA, and none of that stuff ended up working. And so how I got here is we used to be a lifeguard and it was super fun. I was, with all my friends making $16 an hour. Great money. Great money. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was great to me. I was getting paid every week like 500 bucks. I was balling, going out to eat to McDonald's every day. Life was good, but eventually it just got repetitive and like the desire in me like ate me up inside. Just um, what is next? Like this is fun. I'm getting paid, not really doing anything purposeful, because purpose drives me. So there was no purpose at the work I was at. So I started looking into other things. I went to go, do door-to-door sales for solar. Got, into that, made zero money. Was doing that for like 3 months, but it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. And one of the things it taught me was that even while I was doing that and going to school, it was like the reason I wasn't successful is not because solar doesn't work, right? There's a lot of people making money doing solar. It was mainly because I just didn't do it for long enough. So when I got the opportunity, to get started in insurance with a different company, I said I'm gonna give this thing 12 months. Right? I gave solar 3 months and it didn't work. Let me give this thing 12 months. And if I hate it by the end of the 12 months, I'll just quit, get a job and figure life out. So I got started at a different company and, did some time there, made a little bit of money. When I came to Symmetry, I was broke and a little bit broken, just because a lot of frustration, not really seeing things going the way I wanted to go. So when I got the opportunity to come here, I was a little reluctant. I wanted, something that was salary, saying comfortable, but to find out, it's just another 100% commission, I was a little bit on the edge, but I decided to take the jump anyways. And since I started, it hasn't been easy, but I've been committed, just being committed and then just seeing what the fruits of that is going to look like. Having the support of people like Rod and Ethan has definitely helped me along the way, for sure.
Let's
That's what I am.
go. Let's go. Well, I'm gonna intro myself real quick because I know and realized I intro myself. I'm 21 years old. I'm down here in Naples, Florida, and the reason, same as Mackenley, I've always had a entrepreneurial bug. Since I was 16, I was knocking doors, selling roofs, door to door, solar, alarm systems, everything you can sell door to door. I tried. I think in that season I probably made $0 in 2 years. I don't know what I was doing. I was just walking for fun. Like I would just like knocking doors for fun. I don't even know what I was doing honestly. I tried trading, blew all my savings in trading, and I just always wanted more. So how I found this opportunity was by Wilbur Smith. I met one of his buddies at a coffee shop. His buddy told me his buddy does insurance. Wilbur texted me 2 years ago, like 3, 4 years ago, whatever. 4 years ago. At that time, I was at different IMO, two different IMOs, two different practice companies, and I realized I didn't fit in there. It wasn't the culture. It wasn't the people that I wanted to build a business with. It was cute, fast money, but I wanted to build something sustainable. I wanted to build a business with people I can trust in a system that I can also see long term. And I didn't see that there. I saw that here. But Wilbur, one thing that's another, I call him, he's still there, kind of saying, yo, Rod, join. We're here for you. Get on three we call it Scott and Wilbur. And next thing you know, I'm with Symmetry, and we're doing this thing. I'm a year and 4 months in. Cool. All right. We're here. All right. So I want to start off here with my guy Ethan. So my first question here for you is about your mindset, because I want people to realize y'all just saw Ethan throw up $23,000 in a week, right? Y'all saw that? Insane. Like that's people's numbers on a good month, right? Now, I want you to tell them what happened week one and what happened week two and the power of your mindset of showing up. And I want y'all to write this down. His mindset is going to be very important with how y'all operate when you first start on this business, is the power of showing up. And I want y'all to hear how he speaks. Be very attentive to see how he speaks and what he says. So go ahead, Ethan.
So that was a great question. I love that. I'm gonna kind of tie that into always keeping your numbers in front of you. So right behind me, I have a whiteboard with week one numbers, week two, week three, week four, week five, Monday through Friday. I have everything right in front of me. So I can very easily answer that question, which a lot of you need to be able to do. Always know your numbers. It removes the emotion from everything. Business is not emotional. So we'll start there. But in terms of week one, I put in 760 dials, which I almost never do. I'm usually at like the 400 mark, but I wasn't throwing up as much APV as I desired. So what am I going to do? I can cry about it, get emotional, take a step back, or I'm not going to dial. But then I'm for sure not going to put up APV. But if I just keep dialing and put the emotion aside, maybe I'll put up some APV. I didn't. Not that week, but I just kept going. So 760 dials and no APV in week one. And then I continued to show up. By that Friday, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cooked. I don't want to do this. Come Saturday, I drag myself out of bed and I'm talking to myself saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And as soon as I said that for the second time, I stopped saying it. Because if you allow the weeds to continue to grow, they're just going to keep growing. You don't want the weeds to be there, so you're going to have to get rid of them eventually. You either get rid of them once they're there, or you let them spread and it'll be harder to get rid of them. So I allowed myself to say twice, I don't want to show up today. And then that was it. I showed up on that Saturday and wrote 4,500 APV on 3 different families in total. And if I did not show up on that one day, I would not have wrote any of that business. And then by that $4,500 worth of APV, that relit the belief within me and allowed me to capitalize on the momentum leading, to a $25,000 week. So I always control the conversation with my mind and understand Rome was not built in a day. Everything in life, I like to see it's like a garden. Whatever you plant and whatever you put into it, that's what will grow. Just because you planted a seed and you're pouring water on the seed and you don't see a beanstalk, that doesn't mean nothing's happening. It just hasn't happened long enough for you to see the fruits of your labor yet. And so much is happening below the soil. The roots are growing, the seed is germinating, it's getting ready to sprout. And then once you see it, poof, $23,000 week. So Rome was not built in a day. Keep showing up. I hope that answers that.
Bro, so good. So y'all see, when you have a bad dial session, have 2 bad dial sessions, have 3 bad dial sessions, it's it's not only showing up, that's the first part, but also showing up with the belief that you can make it happen. Okay. Now we all see Mackenley now. He's crushing it. And something that I feel like we all face is comparison is a thief of joy. Mackenley, tell us a little bit about your journey when you started here. Tell us about because when you first started here, you had a slower start. Would you agree? Right? And I want us to understand, first of all, my first part of this question is, what kept you in this business while you're in that season?
First of all, I want to say let's not sugarcoat it. It wasn't a slow start. It was a terrible start. Like I might have slipped and fell on my face. Like it was bad. Wrote like one app the first month, second month wrote another app, got canceled. Third month wrote one app. I'm like, goodness gracious. But Really, I would say when I first started, it came down to your level of commitment. And I came in here with a bad mindset because I felt defeated from my last attempt at life insurance, right? At the last company. I was doing like in person, I was being doing business to business. So I'll go, there's no leads, there was no, phones to call. Like I was going to business owners and I was talking to them, introduce myself, let them know who I am. And business owners are busy, so it was hard. So when I came in here, I was, getting to dial from my house. I didn't have to drive nowhere, so I had a lot more time. And, people calling me to do this and do that. Like, Mackenley, I need your help, what I'm saying, setting up my laptop. I need your help brushing my teeth. Like, I don't like all different types of things. And it came down to at the beginning from going to, oh, I have all this time to actually structuring my time to making sure that I'm working when I say I'm working. And then a big shift for me was conference. It was conference because once I went to conference, it changed my belief in not only this business, but in myself. I got to hear from people like Jed Vedlika, and how he couldn't even speak English. You know what I mean? So, and he's crushing it. There's people that, came in hundreds of $1,000s in debt and they're crushing it. I'm just seeing all this and seeing the vision, and that built belief in me. So I went from, dialing here and there 200, 300 dials, because I thought, oh, if I just dialed, I'll get paid, right? Like if I just call people, I'm gonna get paid. When I went to conference, I started hammering the phone. $500, 500 dials was the start. Like that was the start. If I didn't hit five, that was the minimum. So I had to make sure that I was doing whatever it took to make sure that I can get the return that I wanted because it was not going to show up, right? Because if I don't do it, it's not going to happen. I have to make sure that I'm putting in the work. If I'm putting it in consistently. One thing that helped me as well, like you said, Rod, is when it comes to comparison, it's so easy to compare yourself to these people that came in after you, right? And they're crushing it. Ethan came in after me and he started crushing it before me. But you have to understand that everybody's dealt a different card. It's not about the hand that you were dealt, it's about what you do with the hand that you were dealt. So Ethan has skill sets and talents and experiences that I don't have. But what do I have? I have skill sets and talents and experiences that Ethan doesn't have. So me instead of me focusing on, oh my goodness, Ethan is crushing it. This guy's he's so saucy. Like every time he opens his mouth, there's just sauce coming out. I have to focus on what, I have and the card that God gave me, right? Because if I just keep focusing on his card, it's not going to change mine. So I would say that was what was helped me when I came said at the beginning and really staying committed was conference that helped me stay here for real.
Hey man, what would you say to someone right now in that season?
Goodness. What do I say to someone right now in that season? That season is a season. That's what it is. That season is a season. Um, and I like this book. I don't know if you guys know. It's like it's called Ecclesiastes, and it talks about how there's a season for everything, right? There's a season for $600, $600 each week. There's a season for that. And then there's a season for $300 each week. There's a season where you're not going to be dialing at all. You're just going to be running calls. But to all things, there is a season. And nothing lasts forever. But that season, it's molding you and shaping you, teaching you the skills of sales. It's teaching you, it's building your character, right? We talk about this all the time. All work works. It's either is working on you or is working for you, right? One thing that Wilbur told me very early on was that when it comes to, well, he didn't tell me, he got it from his favorite person, the buff guy with the beard. I don't know his name, but he
Hermosi.
told me that, yeah, Hermosi. He told me that when it comes to business, it's either you stay in it long enough until you figure out or you just quit, right? So I just knew like I had that in my mind. I'm gonna figure this out, So if anyone is in that season, I wanna be transparent with you. I probably wrote more business last month than I did in the first 6 months. And something that Kate and Scott talk about all the time is it's slow, then all of a sudden. This book is called, if you guys haven't read it yet, it's called The Slight Edge. the compounding effect of your effort, right? The daily actions, showing up every single day. I showed up with weeks on. I had 2,300 dialed months, 3,500 dials a month. Like I'm dialing 700 dials a week for 4 weeks straight. That hurts. But now we're in a different season, right? There's a season for that, and those seasons don't last forever. For anybody who's in that season, just know that it's working on you. You're building a skill, you're building resilience, and that season is not gonna last forever. Just know that. Keep going until you make it to the other side.
Hope y'all taking some notes. My boy's strapped. My boy's strapped. Okay. All work works. I love that. Ethan, we see a level of belief in you right now that is actually insane. So, what would you say to someone right now that's lacking belief in this business or lacking belief in themselves, and how? Just tell me a little bit about that and what changed for you. I know it's a double-ended question. Maybe what changed for you first, from when you started to now, and then how you can help someone else gain their belief in this.
I think Kate said it best. Go get a haircut. It was all the haircut. No, I'm playing. Um, Hang around two losers, you'll be the third. Hang around two winners, you'll be the third. Is that brash? Very. But that's also the truth. And like I said last time, business is not emotional. It does not matter. It doesn't care. If you want to hang out with people who aren't committed to this business, chances are what's going to rub off to you is a lack of commitment. Whereas if you circle yourself around with people like Rod, who is an animal, like Mackenley, who is an animal, like Sabina, like Brooke, like Giovanna, all these people are animals. And these are all people that at least the three of us on screen are in communication with. So it's not coincidental at all that the fact that the three of us are constantly communicating with each other, it's not a coincidence that we're all succeeding. Hang around the people that are where you desire to be. That's my biggest, associate. I'm so grateful that I threw up all this APV and now my face is being shown everywhere, but not because I'm getting recognition, but now because people know to text me. I have like three brand new agents who aren't even writing business yet, who are already reaching out to me going like, oh, I would love to figure out how to do what you did. How do you do this? And they're taking steps in the right direction. They see someone who's winning and they reach out and ask questions on how to win. So a closed mouth doesn't get fed. We'll put it that way.
Okay. Insane. Association. I mean, that's a corner. I mean, that's a
That's a
corner.
cornerstone.
It's. I mean, what can we say? I mean, we're trying to tell you, association is a name in the game. So associate with people who are winning. Associate with people who are doing it at a high level, and guess what? It may rub off on you, and you
Of
may
course.
start throwing up 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K weeks because that's what's coming. We
Come
ain't
on.
stopping. 20K. That was. This is cute. You see us in a few months. That's gonna be your standard. All right.
Okay.
Regardless of that, Ethan, talk to me about developing the skill set of sales. And for a season, or talk to me about the obsession that you have with sales and how you believe that a obsession with sales can help everybody here.
Good question. To answer that, give me 1 second. So at my last job, here, hold on. Let me get this out. It's gonna suck. Okay. This is gonna work. This is not gonna work. So one of my drawers just broke. We'll fix that later. I have probably, so this journal, I have about 50 of these filled page to page right down here. At my last sales job, I would sit behind all the closers who were throwing up the numbers that I wanted to throw up, and I would listen to what they're saying, how they're saying it, how they present themselves as a figure of authority, and how they create such a credible image for themselves. And I didn't try to do anything other than what they were doing. Why? Because I don't need to. What they're doing works. Why am I going to try to reinvent some system on how to be a good salesman or how to be a good closer when I'm already looking at someone who is doing it in front of me? I'm just going to do what they're doing. And so bringing that into this industry, my journal, I didn't have to look for it. Why? It's on my desk, open, taking notes. I'm still doing it. After this, do I probably need help dialing? Probably not. But what am I going to do right after this? I'm going to go listen to Gino Locklear dial, and I'm going to take some notes. Because even though I'm happy with my skill set, there's always more room to grow. As soon as you stop growing, you stop earning. You think you know everything. You're too good to learn. Be a student of the game. Put your ego aside. Understand that there's always more to learn. And again, look at those who are where you want to be. I'm so grateful to be with such a wonderful organization. And I'm talking to all these new agents, bringing them on into this IMO, and they're saying, "Oh, we don't have systems, we don't have this, I'm not getting any training." I show them a picture of my calendar and they flip out. What, you guys have a team, you guys have a training call every single day on how to be a top producer, on how to be a builder, on how go to the calls, bring a journal, take some notes, and don't try and reinvent the system. It works. It works. Follow it. That's all I can say. In terms of obsession, because I know you kind of asked two questions, with obsession, find a way to fall in love with your craft. Everyone says, "Oh, you don't have to love dialing." You don't have to love it. It doesn't have to be your most favorite thing in the world. I don't love dialing, but I do enjoy it. And I do think that to some extent, you have to get good enough to where you learn how to like it. Okay. When you start playing a sport, you're not going to be good. And because you're not good, you're not going to like it. But when you get better and you start hitting some nasty three-pointers, you're like, dang, I'm nasty. And then you start to enjoy the sport. And that's where I've gotten to. I get hit with an objection and I duck it so smoothly. And Rod, literally, I ducked an objection the other day. I didn't even book the call, but I still got past it. I was like, damn, I was nasty. And it felt good. And it gave me the energy that I needed to keep dialing. So find a way to become obsessed. Find a way to enjoy what you're going to have to do inevitably every single day. You might as well find a way to enjoy it.
Bro, finding a way to love it comes from understanding that you're making progress.
Yes.
Okay? If y'all don't see you're making progress, you're not going to find a way to love it. Bro, I was on just Mac room call, and Ethan's like this, like just so excited. I'm like, what happened? He's like, dude, you should have seen I overcame an objection, but then he hung, and like, I did this, I did that. But I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't book the appointment. But why is he getting excited about that? He sees he's getting better at handling objections. He sees his own progress. And this is where I'm going to tie this call down to. We have 2 minutes left. I'm going to give y'all a few things that we can do. So number one, counting what counts. It's in our general channel. If you don't have that as a new agent, learn it, use it, become it every day, track your numbers. Counting what counts. Get the thing, there's dials, things. Every single night at 8:30 when you wrap up your day, plug in all your numbers. Okay, what did I do today? Where am I at? Am I on pace? Okay. Next thing is control your thoughts. Take all thoughts captive. Okay, so make sure what's coming between your two ears are things that are going to bring you to the next level. Okay, this opportunity is awesome. I'm so grateful to be here. And if you can't get out of a negative spiral, call a mentor, call somebody, and let them pour into you. That way you can get out of that spiral. Because I know how it gets, but sometimes you get to have someone else pour into you, and that's okay. Next thing is, Mackenley said conference was a big shift. He wasn't seeing any money coming into his thing, but he knew what this opportunity held for him. He had Marlon do the dream visualization with him. He saw what's possible here. People who are have a happy family, have great impact, that have just character, and they have money to back it up. He liked that. He saw that. He felt that, and that's why he stayed in long enough to get the results he's getting now. Okay. Mackenley also said, if you're in a season right now where you're not seeing the progress, all work works. You're writing your own story. Eventually, you have agents, people coming under you that are going to have the same problems. And what are you going to say? You crumbled in the pressure? What are you going to say? Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I backed down a little bit. Or are you going to say, yo, I know where you are right now, my new agent. Bro, I've been through it, and I fought that fight, and I know how it is, but I'm telling you, that's what builds character to be able to run a multi-million dollar business. Because if you never build the character to run that type of business, you might as well not be in business. Because it's business takes character, it takes resilience. Okay? That's the next thing. Okay, association. Who are you associating? Find somebody on this call right now and text them. Someone you look up to. Someone you like. Me, Ethan, Scott, Wilbur. Find somebody, text them. Let us pour into you. We're here for you. Okay, two more things. Sales training. If y'all don't have 30 minutes a day of sales training, of listening to your own calls, or finding a way to develop your sales skills, do it. Find a way in your day to implement 30 minutes of sales training. At the end of the day, what we're doing is selling for people, not for us, but to sell for people, we have to be good at selling. And find a way to love it. Track your progress. See your own growth. And that all ties back to keeping your numbers in front of you. When you see you're making growth, you're going to find a way to love it. That's all I got.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Guys, this call was so good. I'm trying to catch up with the leadership chat right now. I feel like this is like part one to part two. Great job. First time on the master call for Ethan. Mackenley, I think this is your first time too. You guys crushed today. Really good message. I wrote all those bullet points down for you guys in the chat. I would take a screenshot of that if you didn't take notes from today and help understand how you can be honing in on each of those things on a daily basis. Weeks turn into months, right, Ethan? Months turn into quarters, quarters turn into years. Like, don't let time slip by without like focusing on these things. I think these guys really nailed it, and I appreciate you guys. Love all three of you. I'm just excited that we put together a call like this. Like Rod did an awesome job, but the impact that you guys are going to have just from your energy alone, like you could have said nothing. The energy alone is going to make a big impact. So, love y'all. Let's have a great Monday. See you guys soon.